Friday night football underway then, under the bright lights. Roby taps it down, Guthrie momentarily. Gray hacks it out towards the wing. The speedster White's got it. Puts it about 15 metres, barely. Wasn't paid a mark. Sam Gray kicks it down towards the pocket. Views over the top. Lonergan, good tackle. Westhoff followed up. Wingard, spectacular attempt. Oh. Well, that ball almost did what he wanted it to.
That would have sent the crowd into absolute meltdown if he kicked that. You just sense he's getting back to his best form now, Chad Wingard. Very good last week.
Move it on!
Yeah, that last 15 minutes was vintage stuff, wasn't it? For a youngster, if we can say vintage. Enright, we can say vintage with him, of course, the little one. So what a test for both teams, but particularly the Cats on enemy territory here. Hartlett, pitted, Impey, rolls it out, runs it out, boundary throwing.
It'll be interesting to see as we have a look at the chance there. He hit it just about perfect, didn't he? But it'll be interesting to see how they go about it tonight, whether the Cats want to attack through the corridor. If they do that, that plays into the hands of Port Adelaide. They love that. They love to counter punch.
Blixarves knocks it down. Guthrie close to the boundary line. Ebert hammers it along the boundary line, and we've got a throw in. Ken Higley. Lobe and Stanley, as I mentioned earlier, Stanley back in the action tonight. Lobe so strong, backhands it down, brilliantly down to Gray with the outside of the boot. Interesting kick. Monfries lunges, missed it. Taylor gets back. Very high ball, close to the boundary. Boat goes back and marks it. A step in.
Squares it. Broadbent. Struggled early, Broadbent. His last week has been good, or two.
Yours.
Was admitted 3 weeks ago. Robbie Gray front spot, but the birthday boy, 29 today, takes the mark, Taylor.
Does that so well, Taylor, doesn't he? It looks like Blixarves has gone to Ollie Wines. So we thought he might go to Boat. He's gone to Wines instead.
Push. Push, Tom. Hands in the back, push. Hands are in the back.
So this is Bobby. This is Carla, who Ken Hingley spoke to Lingy about being the general down back.
Yeah, obviously organises everything for that Port Adelaide defence. On the last line, as Kenny said, he's the one who's under the pump.
So Taylor had a second crack. Selwood had to run the gauntlet. Handball was poor. Robbie Gray, first goal to the power. Well, there's a combination, I guess. Selwood's handball was always going to be pretty hot because of the situation, and I think it was Buse fell, and then Gray swept. He's having a different year, Gray. He's not hitting the scoreboard quite so much, but maybe with Wines now back he will, but he's having a very good year again. Just so much ball he gets.
This is what Port do so well when they're playing well. Wingard, the pressure and the tackle, forced the poor handball from the Geelong skipper. Robbie Gray pounced on it. Port Adelaide, their pressure is first class as well as their attack.
Great bounce by the umpire. Wines, so good last week. Kicks down towards half forward. Thurlow goes after the footy. Spills out. Port very hungry so far. It's been played completely in their half.
Straight up, please.
And this is the first time since round two that Geelong have conceded the opening goal. Something had to give.
Straight back here. Yeah, you two here.
Lots of players around the footy. Ruckman lock up. Over the top, Blixarves. Guthrie tackled, got the ball out. Thurlow grabbed. He's going nowhere. Down he goes. Guthrie scratches his hair. Obviously knew something when he got Juddy's jumper a fortnight ago. He was onto it. He may have creaked the Justin.
He's the smartest man in footy, isn't he?
He is.
Kelly off a step. Broadbent. So second mark for him. Keeps it low. Westhoff, it was a tricky one, but he probably should have taken it and he threw it away. So Enright, normally constructive. Johnson. So Stevie J off that step. Now he kicks it to a race. Motlop, Impey. Can Motlop weave some magic? That's a win for the power.
Jarman Impey is very, very quick because he went step for step with Steve Motlop there. I thought it was the right kick from Johnson out in front to let Motlop use his pace. But that shows how fast Jarman Impey is. Really well played by the Port defender.
And it was a long run, wasn't it?
Lixarves, how about that to the other ruckman, Stanley. How will it bounce? Well enough. Fair to say, most unusual. Stanley opted out. Lixarves up in front. Like Big Bob Johnson just hooking it out the back.
You haven't got him in for a couple of weeks, Dan. Big Bob.
It's getting harder to, Bruce. Long time ago now.
Oh, you've used him perfectly there, I reckon. Great result. It just takes a bit of sting out of Port for a moment, doesn't it?
Well, this is the advantage of being a 6'8" ruck rover, isn't it? You're playing on Ollie Wines, easy tap out over the back. That's really clever, and that's obviously something that they've worked on.
Matthew Lobe went straight to the umpire after that one, talking to them. He's getting a bit frustrated by Blitzarve's third man up.
Lobe to do just about all of it, you'd think, tonight. Ryder's still out with the Achilles.
Thanks, Travis.
He is a workhorse, though, Lobe.
Hold the meter, Rick.
Gets a lot of hit-outs, not that many to advantage this year. Wingard clever, improvising. Enright getting a lot of the ball early, thumping it back. Hawkins, the #1 contested marker in the comp, that would have been something. Piddart under pressure, Motlop, Broadbent, Cleary, Motlop out on the fall. Unlucky. 4 goals last week along with Johnson and Hawkins. They really hit the board, those guys.
Broadbent in the back pocket then.
Play on.
Energy pack start. Kicks it short of the wing. Lobe's the target. Up he goes. Almost. Good recovery. Had it a while. Needs to be careful. Dragged down by Blitzarves. Lang tried to walk it through. Cahoon. Nice work. Cleary gave it across. The kick comes out from Pittard. Here's Stanley, the goal kicker. Oh, getting back, Monfries did brilliantly. Now they can break, or can they? Kelly, sensing the danger, came up. Comes back to Boak. Involved moments ago, taken high. He gets the free kick inside the centre square, plays on, and Schulz goes out wide.
To Monfries, to Broadbent, and then Broadbent very wide, maybe too wide for Westhoff.
That kick from Stanley is exactly what you're talking about, isn't it, Doug? Geelong have got to make sure they hit that one, otherwise Port, they'll sniff going straight back the middle, through the middle, and through for a goal.
Lucky there the Cats, weren't they? Because they were off. Just one little fumble, though. The Cats were able to get the ball back, but they love that, Port Adelaide.
Lobe, Wingard again improvising. Monfries had a good fly from the back. And then gets a handball to Wines. Great tackle. I think it was Selwood who's copped the one in the face there. It was accidental.
No.
That's Joe. It is Joel.
Thank you. Right back.
That face has felt blood before.
I think a bandage is in the family crest.
There's hardly a game goes by where we don't see him go off with the blood rule.
He's getting a lot of sympathy down here from the fans too. I just heard a lady yell out, "Give him a tissue."
No, he'd eat a tissue with Joel. I don't reckon Joel's got tissues in his pocket, do you?
He'd use sandpaper.
It has been a bright start, hasn't it? I mean, Cats know that Port were going to come hard at them. They've been a good first quarter team, Geelong, this year. So Port pressing here into attack.
Kelly, the veteran, with the outside of the boot. Play on's the call. Boak fires it back. It's good. Kelly's hurt. Very short pass. They were living dangerously. And Boak seized on the opportunity. And that's not good. James Kelly in trouble. Again. It's creeping down his body.
Gee, that looks Achilles or something, doesn't it? Certainly lower calf. So let's look at Kelly here.
Twisted knee underneath Ollie Wines there. He looks in a lot of pain.
Hobbles now from the ground, so Cat's a bit stiff there. Lang didn't feel it was far enough, so he thought he had to play on, and then Boat swept. talk about sweeping. Gray to Wines to full forward. Westhoff had a crack. Rivers front spot. Murdoch's handball was very good to Lonigan. And then Lonigan wide to Gregson. Kept it in Gregson. Big night for him, a Adelaide boy playing on the Adelaide Oval. Mackie as well. They're both from the same college, Sacred Heart. The kick from Guthrie to half forward. Hawkins and Carlisle. Cleary gets back. He's jammed up. Good tackle by Hawkins. Ball up.
Few players slipping over already tonight, Lingy. I'd hope that they've all got their screw-ins in. Coaches don't like players slipping over.
Pet hate of the coaches, isn't it?
Sure is.
James Kelly off the ground. Hope he's okay. Wines hurriedly over the shoulder. Monfrey's missed it. Stewart's over it. Immediately attracts a Geelong crowd, and we've got a ball up.
It's a good point, Duck. It's very wet down here, and it's actually getting wetter, and the prediction is that it'll get a lot wetter throughout the course of the night as well.
Wines, third man up there.
Holding the arm, Guthrie.
Against Gray. So Guthrie's got the football.
Move it on. Play on.
Goes in short inside the centre square.
Stay there, Angus.
Murdoch, left footer, across the ground. Rivers pushing up. No real urgency here. Just probing the perimeter. Here's Murdoch. Gets it in there, and a man 20 metres in the clear, Gregson.
Well, that's what can often happen. You see, all of the Port Adelaide players were deep. They're expecting a long kick, and so often you can get a player up around that 50-metre mark that is free like that, and he just had a lot of space there, Gregson, didn't he?
And the kicker, just at that last second, the ability to lower your eyes, not do the predictable one long, just spot up that bloke just inside 50. Clever play from Murdoch.
Corey Gregson then. Man on the mark is about 35 metres out. Gregson making an impact. And again there. Great first season.
So he's the youngest guy out there tonight at 18 years of age. So let's have a look at this one. This is the one that Boat was able to get the mark. So here's the kick. Now, Lang doesn't think it's far enough, but the mark was paid.
Yeah, the mark was paid, so I thought it wasn't, although we could hear the whistle. It's very loud out there, and they're the types of things when the crowd, as we have a look at Kelly's injury, it doesn't look good.
No. Kirsten is the sub, so getting warmed up a bit. Tim's saying it's very wet tonight. The dewy ground, obviously. It's not raining at all, but...
No, but it was slippery out there when we were down on the ground, so players are going to need to adjust, but these players are so skillful these days.
Gray doing very well. Kicked the opening goal of the match. Blitzarves spills out Cahoon. Great to see him back. High tackle on Selwood, who's back out there. Quickly on to Stanley, to Blitzarves, to Selwood. Off that step, measures the kick to fall forward. Oh, couple of flies, Impey from the side. Caddy, good tackle, Broadbent. He's got him.
Great tackle, Bruce. Great call. Caddy had all the momentum then. Broadbent just stopped him in his tracks. Brilliant tackle.
Plays on from half-back, comes out wide. Almost a clever mark taken by Sam Gray. Now White on his knees. Sam Gray sends it down towards half-forward. Mackie in 2 minds whether to come. Dropped by Ebert. Good pressure from Hughes, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw-in about 70 metres out from the attacking goal for Port. Margin 1 point. Power lead. Stanley and Lobey will go at it. Stanley, front spot. Lobey from behind. They fight a draw. Falls in front. Selwood on his knees. Off the ground by Boak. Back inside the centre square.
Impey, we know he's quick. Good tackle, Gregson. He's going to get him, I think. Ball up.
Yeah. Thank you. Straight back here. Hold the meter. You two here.
No argument there. So there's Blitzarves again with that third man, Thurlow. Stokes hammering the ball as far as he can. It's not a good kick. Gee, was brave Walker there.
Geelong.
He was exposed, wasn't he? Kelly's still battling.
Time.
He promises a bit, Walker. There's something there. There really is. It's just whether it can all come together. Kicks to full forward. Johnson just protecting the ball. Carlisle, Hawkins. What happens here, umpire?
Tom Jonas with the job on Stevie J. Ken Higley won't want Stevie J having a good game tonight. Cal getting a bit of attention down the back. He looks very, very sore.
Lobe directs it down, standing at his feet, Gray. That's Robbie Gray. Motlop made something out of nothing. Sweetly timed. Gee, high pressure affair. And Motlop in the pressure cooker did brilliantly. Cats lead by 5 points.
Gee, you don't see Gray make a mistake like that often, but Geelong have done a great job here because the way Port came out steaming, they could have kicked 5 goals in the first 15 minutes tonight. And Geelong have, there's 5 goals kicked, but Geelong have got 3 of the 5. Been a good effort.
Well, this is just a really good understanding of knowing that you haven't got too much time or space. You can't really bend over and pick that one up or you get caught with it. He's just so clever. Get something like that from him most weeks, don't you?
Yep, that X factor. And Gray fumbling you don't often see, do you? Not once but twice there. Boat, Stanley, Gregson.
Hot tackle Geelong. No advantage. Hot tackle Geelong.
Back to Gregson. Gee, what a good start for the 18-year-old. From the famous Sacred Heart College in Somerton Park in Adelaide. He's produced a lot of good players, and he's another one of them. Enright gets it from Blitzards. Good mark, Stanley. So terrific signs here early for the Cats.
Thank you.
Ray Stanley, other side. Across the ground is space. Well, they need to be careful here. They've exposed the back. Schultz has got the football, and suddenly players breaking in all directions. Pittard's got it. Runs himself into trouble. He could be stripped. Now the dilemma is facing Geelong. No, they win the ball to Port. Schultz gave it to Carlisle, to Wines. Kicks it down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing footy. Ebert played it pretty well. Spills across to Boak. Boak's hand pass towards goal. Getting back is Enright. Plenty of time and spots a man, if you don't mind.
Gee, that was Enright at his best, wasn't it?
Good footy all round at the moment. Jay Schultz's mark with Harry Taylor there was brilliant, but they've turned it over again, the Cats. Wingard, he just reads it so well.
Hey, Logie, that's 3 lateral kicks now they've turned over.
Thank you. Here's your mark.
There's that mark by Jay Schultz. Brilliant control of his body.
Held on to it for a long time. The umpire let it go. I guess he thought he wasn't held long enough, but once again the Cats just showing that they're prepared to come inboard.
9-2 from set shots. Kicked a goal in every game this year. Border back in front. Wingard gets the goal. She's a cracking game. I mean, we talked about some of the stars prior to the match and a few of the things that might happen. Duck, I reckon he's just about where he was in the last couple of years. He's kicked 86 goals in the last 2 years, this guy.
Yeah, no, I really like him. He's their money man, isn't he? When he goes forward, you like the ball in his hands because under pressure, he doesn't often miss.
No, he's a good shot. He's only 21 too. He's good.
You can see here the Cats. Well, I don't even know where he was going because there were 3 or 4 Port Adelaide players around that ball. You just got to make sure you hit targets if you're going to go inboard like that.
Port by a point then. Lobe up very early. Didn't touch the footy. Stanley touched it and then some. Kicks inside the forward 50. Hangs a long time in the air. Pittard gets across and the ball runs away from him. Cleary comes up with Kirsten. And we've got a boundary throw in. So Kelly is gone for the night. It's terrible news. Boundary throw in. 19 plays 18. Lobe pushed in the back. No free kick. Stanley's got it. Lobe's got him. Cahoon did nicely. Wingard slips. Knocked down. Well played by Caddy. Coming through Hartlett. Gray. Slick hands. And now Wingard released to space.
Working it all out. Caresses the kick. Monfries, free kick. Holding.
Definite holding by Andrew Mackie. Just grabbed his arm.
Plays on. Goals. Port. Kick away. Gray's little give to Wingard opens it up. Wingard then, it's a perfectly placed kick. It just puts so much pressure on the defence, doesn't it? Just with Kelly talking to get back. It's just not a like for like Kirsten for Kelly, is it? It changes things, doesn't it? It's a dilemma now for how to get the balance right. with Walker and Kirsten and Stanley and
Hey, Lee, now that they've lost that man on screen now, Kelly, what do they do in terms of reshuffling their back six, Geelong?
Well, it's a huge blow because this Port Adelaide running machine is so hard to match up on. They lose a runner, they only get a forward in. It's going to hurt them. I think Murdoch could potentially play a little bit across half-back, but they're going to have to find an extra small defender. It's not what they would have wanted at all.
High-stepping Caddy. Look for Lang. Wines did brilliantly to Gray. Westhoff staying off the pack. Shaw's on the lead. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Is it right half forward? Too far out to score. Well, this place is really buzzing now. Goes to the pocket. Well, more than the pocket. He goes to the fence. Rivers. Thurlow. His distribution in the last few weeks has been outstanding. Up around 75%.
He's had an impressive year, Den, that's for sure. Hodge marked up tonight, strong mark. He's had a good season, a really good couple of years here. Broadbent, very good opening turn for him. Plenty of ball, great tackle in the middle of it all. Tries to deliver and he does to half forward. Just hung a little way. Hughes was really good. Wine's just so hard to bring down. He's like a big wild animal and he just can't get him down.
The target inside 50 there was great, and looks like he's spending a little bit more time forward now, but Monfries, Gray, Wingard, hard match-up Slingy inside that forward 50. So that small defender, as you said, now going to be really difficult for those taller defenders.
And why they're so good and so effective forward is they're good overhead as well as on the deck.
Lang's away. Johnson got a hot one. Jonas comes out in his Selwood, around the corner, bounces one back towards the centre square. Brilliant there by Motlop, into the path of Lang. He's got plenty of company. High tackle, surely, no free kick. That's Sam Gray, who takes his mouth guard out to have a word to the umpire, I think. That's not bad. Presence of mind, tackle, the footy's in there, and still wanted to have a yak.
He's a fast learner, he hasn't played much footy. Ebert. Impey and Ebert again, so some hard running by Ebert. Clever, I think, in the end. Hartler got a high one, he wants to play on. White, Impey, Port at their best when they play fast footy. Oh! I saw Blitzars and Wingard go for the same ball. No collision in the end. Ball not quite out. Taylor. Tunnel ball. Murdoch. Still Murdoch, and his pants lowered, but he got the footy out. That's more important. Motlop, Stevie J tries to bring it down. Broadbent, Stokes, how good's this? Broadbent to space. The footy's as hot as it'll ever get. Johnson on the up. Motlop, Kirsten, the sub, on. Makes a mistake, bad handball. Butters up, gets a second crack. Stanley, and then Stanley off the step, a high ball. Everyone catches their breath for a moment.
Cleary over the top. Homsch, like a basketballer. Cleary's got it now from Broadbent. Pushed across the line and we'll have a throw in. Oh, Stevie.
Steve Johnson. Stupid play there on Jonas. Just an elbow to the back of the head. Gave away the free kick. Not smart. The ball was out of bounds. There's going to be a throw in. Geelong we're going to be able to set up.
Jonas.
Silly.
Had a good experience, kicks with his sock down towards the wing and goes out of bounds on the full. Stevie knew what he was doing. Geelong get the ball back.
Thanks, Jay. Cheers.
There you go. Hughes, short. Caddy's got it. Caddy, been very good lately. 20 possessions last week, 5 tackles, 2 goals. No Duncan. He's trying to fill that void across half back. Another dangerous kick, a triangulation around Blitzards. Taken by Wingard, coughed it up though, straight to Taylor. Taylor goes down towards half forward. Runner gets out of the way. Hartley, well, he dropped the mark. Looks across the ground, kept his head. Carlisle, right half back. Westhoff was on the wing. He was ignored. Jonas, Cahoon to half forward and Boak on the stretch.
He's got some chances here, Dennis. On his own shores, he'll mark it. When they play fast footy, they're irresistible, and they're fast tonight, aren't they?
And the Cats are playing right into their hands. I mean, going for balls off half-back through the middle of the ground again. I haven't made them pay just yet. On that occasion, eventually got to Schultz, but the Cats, they will go down and go down well if they continue to play that high-risk footy through the middle.
So Wingard, Gray, Monfries, Boak, the goal scorers, the big names, and Schultz joins them. They've kicked 5 first-quarter goals. Well, they were the stars we talked about pre-match, weren't they, for Port Adelaide, that have hit the board. Boak, Wingard, Schultz, Gray, they were 4 of them. Throw Monfries in is so important to them. So for Port, it's all sort of coming together in this opening term. And now they get a break on the scoreboard. So look at that, he's important, isn't he? So when he's firing, he can be a barometer.
Counting down a quarter time then on Friday Night Football. Lobie straight to Stanley. Gray, though, stole it. Missed the target intended for Boak. Guthrie taking a revolution. Walker did well. Gregson is through. Goes with the outside of the boot. Long down towards full forward. Johnson!
Well, he just did something silly before, Stevie J, but that's why he's still so dangerous. Brilliant use of the body. Deep ball. Good position there by Jonas on him. At the last second, just moved him out of the way. Clever footballer, Steve Johnson. Kenny would not have liked that. Very close relationship with Stevie J. I don't think you want him getting a kick tonight.
Margin at 13. But it closes. Johnson gets the goal.
Good kick by Gregson, actually. I mean, that check side was perfectly placed in the end. I mean, Johnson made it even better. It was a great mark, but good kick. Obviously doesn't have the left foot, but improvised.
No one does these days.
Well, they're so good with the check side, aren't they?
And that's that kick you're talking about. Well, they're hard to judge, and you see Stevie J there, both sort of hanging on a little bit, just judge a little bit better. I mean, that's what he's so clever at, using his body.
So Stanley and Lobie. Stanley wins the tap. Winds. Heard the umpie's call, so play on. Gray search, did well, got it out to Stewart. Stewart off that quick step to fall forward. Wingard, he'll be dangerous. Hughes did it well. What a high-quality opening term here. So many of the names that we were thinking about pre-match have hit the scoreboard or done something spectacular. The big story, I guess, Kelly, gone for the night. Kirsten, the sub on.
Mackie kicks in. Taylor juggles the mark. Enright pushing up the ground. Kicks through midfield. Kirsten in from the side. Off hands. Overrunning the football, Gregson. Putting the body in, Johnson. Cahoon comes out of that pack. Ball still wedged under a couple of players, and the umpire calls for it. Under 3 minutes to quarter time. Dewey Knight. Lobie. Guthrie. Wines out of there, though. Down towards half forward. Schultz. Still Schultz in front. Well played by Lonergan. He sort of frisked him early, didn't tackle him.
Ball straight under him.
And then took him down with a wonderful lunging tackle. The veteran with a beard.
With Lonergan and Taylor, you've still got a good defence, haven't you? I mean, the pillars both still going strongly. Walker, Lobie. Lobie did well. Gray. Clever. And a boundary throw in.
Robbie Gray up to 10 possessions now. He's kicked the 3 goals. It's 5 clearances. He is just a high-quality footballer and already having an impact on tonight's game in a big way.
So we've got that opening goal, Gray. Caught with 5 individual goal scorers. Sam, Gray and Lang. White. Hartlett. He's a good kick, Hartlett. Well done by Thurlow. Stewart was in a good spot. Mackie to corral him. Out of play. So Port half forward right. 8 points to the good of the Cats.
Robbie Gray, 10 possessions. Lobie, right on the numbers. Walker from behind. Some action. You saw Ebert just run a man off the football as Blitzarf was trying to be third man up. Lang goes along the boundary. Gregson, tight. It sends one beyond the wing. Kirsten in front. Broadbent, who's been stellar back there, finds the footy falling to the ground. Carlisle bearing down Hawkins, and the ball spills across the boundary.
Physically, it's a pretty interesting matchup, Carlisle and Hawkins. I mean, Carlisle's got the weight. What are the Hawks' numbers so far?
Yeah, no, he hasn't touched the footy. He's had the 3 tackles, so hasn't had a possession yet.
Walker did well. Kirsten, a chance against Broadbent. Stanley, who has kicked a goal, looked very lively. Back, put Selwood under the pump. He's gone. Boat ran him down. No advantage really, but it has been given. And then Enright goes to full fork, and Hawkins get involved. It's a tricky kick and a boundary throw in.
Just had to take the onus upon himself there, Stanley, and do something with the footy. He just put his captain under pressure. Really poor handball. It's not the captain's fault. It's his fault. He has to have better vision than that.
Geelong pressing. Blitzarves, front spot. Laid it down. Cahoon. Blitzarves. Are behind.
Margin 7 points then. See the time remaining. 1:21. Pittard to bring it in. Entertaining first term. Pittard. A lot of indecision. Told to play on.
Yours.
Drives it long outside the 50. Stanley in that pack. Lobie did brilliantly. Knew where the help was. Sam Gray, Cahoon around the boundary. Enright's got it. Back come the Cats. Told to play on. Lowers the eyes. Guthrie. Cruising past Stokes. Kicks towards full forward. Hawkins. Mass in front. Cleary goes after it. Hawkins follows up and soccers off the ground for a goal. Opportunistic goal by one of the biggest men on the ground.
Yeah, it struggled to get into the game so far. There hasn't been too much clean ball, but you see there, competes hard and then follows up. That's the most important thing. It's the second effort, second, third effort. It's what you have to do as a big player, not just be a marking player, but follow your work up.
That's how he was able to get the separation from Carlisle, wasn't it then? Carlisle all over him in the marking contest, but as soon as that ball hit the deck, he just turned and went again. That's how the good key forwards are able to get that little bit of space playing against quality defenders.
And what about the bounce? Enright's giving them off half-back in the opening term.
He's been good. 9 touches so far. Experienced player, of course.
So that was important for Hawkins. We made the point that he hadn't done anything to date. Now he's got a goal before quarter time. Homch, well done. That's a terrific mark. He is a fine player. 50th game all up tonight. Geelong had the numbers. Keep thinking how well the Cats have done here, because I think Port have played a very good opening term at home. They've played that quick football. The big names have starred, and yet Geelong are right with them at quarter time, having lost Kelly.
Point the difference. Lobie and Stanley. Lobie only as far as Selwood. Off the ground by Enright. Rather tentative. Boat goes in. Selwood taken down. Diving in there once more is Enright. Boat's got him. Guthrie tries to pluck it away. Nothing doing. And eventually we've got a whistle. It's going against the Cats. Against Corey Enright at the base of that pack. But the siren may sound. Boak with the ball in midair. It's quarter time at Adelaide Oval. We enjoyed that one. Point the difference. Port Adelaide 5-2, Geelong 5-1 on Friday Night Football.
Number 2 bounced the ball a little bit less than the other 2 umpires, so he just shuffled in at the centre bounce when he saw him coming in to bounce the ball. So a bit of a thinker.
And a ruckman's boot.
Yeah, that's a rarity, isn't it, Dad?
I never said that. That's his religion. Comes to Stanley directly from Lobie. And he drives it inside the forward 50. Kempt in front is Hawkins. Carlisle played him under the ball. Now a chance for Kirsten. Kirsten, open goal. Well played. The scavenger. Well, Carlisle did well, but then Kirsten was the beneficiary.
Gee, Reece Stanley's had a good start to this game. Just stayed down as a rover then. Thought he couldn't get to the ball and compete with Lobie, so he stayed down and read the hit. It was good play by Carlisle, getting Tom Hawkins under the ball. But as soon as it got over the back, Shane Kirsten just pounced on it. That'll get his confidence going too, coming on as the sub for James Kelly.
Gee, Stevie J would have been proud of what Kirsten just did then. That was great stuff. So 4 of the Cats' goals have been from either the goal square or the edge of the goal square tonight. So Geelong hitting back hard here. They've kicked the last 3 goals. They lead it. Stanley, Lobie, Selwood banging it out of the centre. Couldn't quite take the mark, Kirsten. Homsch heard his sounds of the games at the start of this quarter. He had a hard hit in that opening term, didn't he? Could really feel that crunch in the marking contest. Thurlow, Stokes brings it back. Good looking kick. Pittard at the back. Johnson lurking. Jonas. Johnson lurking. Cleary helps it. Own goal in a different sport, but not quite there. But clever by
just starting to get a little bit of that magic back. Quiet start to the season from Stevie J, but building 4 goals last week.
Jonas
Eyeing off a couple tonight.
in the back pocket. Good night by Harry Taylor. Wonderful judgment. From left half forward, pumps it back in. Carlisle again winning the battle of strength. Goes after the footy on the deck to Broadbent, hard against the boundary line. Only as far as Stanley. Quick hands at least initially. Ebert, Lobie sends it towards the boundary where it sails out on the full. So Thurlow, or I think it's Bewes who'll get there first, will take the kick. So Bewes right at the interchange gates. And he's side up by 6. The more exhilarating football has come from Port, but Geelong got scores when they've counted. Thurlow can't find a way through. Wines was waiting for him.
And you can see there, Bewes just wanting to get the ball to Stanley. Just the execution of the skill wasn't. It was the right decision. It's just an execute the skill.
If they're going to take that corridor one, though, they have to hit it. Otherwise, Port eventually will make them pay.
Selwood again with the clearance. Ebert. Wines. Good contest. Falcon, I think, Wingard for the moment. Caddy. Rivers. So fierce stuff from both teams. Geelong holding up well early in the second term. They lead it by a goal. Caddy. Does he keep it in? No. It's always going to be difficult. Great pressure from Port.
Pittard. Very short. Ebert. Right on the wing. Looks to the corridor. Joel Selwood. Started again. That's a mess.
Mark's here. Okay.
Whether he copped another one, I'm not sure. He wasn't a crunching tackle just moments ago.
Yep. Okay, time back on.
And to the casual observer, gave as good as he got.
Move it on. Play on.
Maybe not.
Play on.
Here's Ebert. Looks down towards half forward. High ball from behind. Lonigan, fist on it.
Yours.
Stewart's high ball is going to float out of bounds. So 2 indescript or nondescript kicks handled with ease by Geelong.
So Enright to open it up. He had a wide one, but he decided to keep it tighter and Bewes then on the end of the second handball. But Pittard cut it off, didn't quite hold the mark. Cleary and Gray go for the same ball. Stokes. Boundary throw in.
inside footy.
Seward getting a patch up as this is happening. Kelly gone for the night. Let's hope not gone for a long time. Ebert tapping forward. Enright did well. Then toe poked. Taylor. That slippery ball that Tim Watson talked about earlier. Wines brought down by Enright. Lang brought down by Jonas.
See, both teams are tackling well tonight. Their numbers are high at the moment. Geelong 28 tackles, Port Adelaide 26, and they're both really tackling for keeps. Real physical game so far.
Finals tempo at the moment. Lobie taps it down. Sam Gray couldn't find a way through. Thurlow gives it across to Lang. Lang's kick goes down towards half forward. In front, missed by Cleary. On the bounce, Kirsten. He was upended. Pittard tries to force his way through. Did brilliantly. Got it to Robbie Gray. On the wing, he goes down towards half forward. On the burst is Schulz. It bounced kindly for him. Gives it to Ebert. Ebert goes to the square and Wingard, who will hold up. Brilliant by Schulz. And they won back-to-back hard balls in there to set up this opportunity.
And once you get behind the defence, especially a player as smart as Wingard, just no chance once he gets in behind the defence.
That's fine, boys. Here's a mark.
Just centimetres. It stayed in, apparently. Boundary umpire had a great angle on it, and Wingard smacks it through the middle. He's got two. Scores a level.
Might keep an eye on Walker, Denny's shoulder. He looked in a bit of pain a moment ago. He's going back into the centre square, I think. He'll afford another injury, the Cats.
Their work in close there was terrific on the wing, wasn't it, by Port?
Oh, yeah.
Just half chances, and they made the most of them.
So close, you know, a centimetre either here or there. I mean, well, not for Scotty. He was well out.
Clever by Schultz, though. He just stayed involved, stayed alive in the play. Got it onto Ebert. Very smart.
Lobie wins a tap. Cats had the run of it for a moment. Now a 50-50 ball. Clever by Boat. Gray, well done. Really well done to Cahoon. Port scramble the ball forward. Gain about 50 metres. That's a good result.
Shane Kirsten there. He's copped one on the nose as well. Bit of blood on the knee.
Hope it's not from the nose on the knee, because there's plenty there. And we noticed Walker with his shoulder a moment ago. So Geelong taking some heavy hits here. Lobie at the back. Here is Walker, so he looks to be okay. An awkward kicking style, but it's a good kick. Unlucky there, Lang. Impey. Hartlett. Brave mark. And he's got Broadbent short if he wants him. Control the kick. It's a beautiful kick. It really was a beauty. And finds Schulz, who's right up the ground again. He's a handful, Schulz. Can be very creative, as we saw a moment ago. So between centre wing and half forward.
He's bitted one goal. This one goes inside the forward 50. West off. Came strongly. Bew's got the crumb. Tackled immediately by Boak. Ball up.
Jay Schultz appears to be just trying to work up the ground more too. I think Tom Lonergan more comfortable closer to goal. Just trying to get him up on the lead. Let Westhoff come in behind as the deeper forward.
Walker decisively. Guthrie. No room. Umpire will do it again. Lobie. Fingertips to it. Clears away for Wines. Well done, Cahoon. Inside the 50. This kick is offline. It'll fall just inside the field of play. Monfrey's intent on getting a stoppage. Bodies out Mackey. Boundary throw in about 5 metres around from the behind post. 38 apiece. Early going in the second turn.
Clearance is pretty even. Talked about the tackle rate. Scoreboard level. Lobie, good tap. Gray just couldn't get the angle, Sam Gray. Great crowd again tonight. They had 52,000 the only other Friday night here when Port had the big win against Carlton, and they were really flying towards finals time. Cleary, there wasn't a great kick coming out. Port always had the box seat, so Cleary to bang it back in.
Told to go, and he does, close to the boundary line. Wingard off the hands of Taylor, falls in front. Sam Gray hooks it back. Dangerous situation. Thurlow, Enright, and standing his ground, Selwood.
Harry Taylor just running past, saying, control the footy, hold on to it, but Selwood still takes the corridor.
Holding in the marking contest.
Murdoch is going to get a free kick. Just lobs it over the man on the mark. Now Guthrie in space, searching kick inside the forward 50, and Walker played it brilliantly. Running back to the square, turned first and took the mark, and Lobey was in trouble.
And that's that high-risk play that we've been talking about. Selwood off half-back through the corridor. You have to mark that ball. If you don't mark that ball, it goes the other end. Goal to Port Adelaide. But they were clean, high-risk footy, and they get the rewards.
Any score for the lead then. Josh Walker. Man on the mark is about 30 metres out from goal. Walker, normally a powerful kick. Well, it went far enough, but that wasn't a good effort. He missed by quite a margin. Blixarves is being treated. There's carnage on this ground tonight. Most of it has been taken by Geelong. Certainly the blood has flowed from the Cats. Now Thurlow, as their play starts to flow back towards half forward.
Stokes, Ports with the number though. Cahoon work their way through. Lobey engaged early. So Lonigan, or rather, yeah, Lonigan's free against Schulz for the block. Just don't want Lobey to be the one kicking the ball back. He's kicked one out of bounds on the full, sort of half coughed that one up. Good one.
And Lobey is the one behind the ball at the moment for Port. That's why Lonigan had to go so wide. Outmark the Cats forwards, because Lobey just sitting right in the hole, not letting them attack where they want to attack.
Gee, dangerous kick by Sam Gray.
Geelong, high fend off, in the throat. 2 metres, Brad. 2 metres.
So Caddy and Ebert getting together. The high fend off. So Caddy off that step. Gregson ended up being the target. Johnson was lurking.
Gee, this was an ordinary call, I reckon. Stiff by Brad Ebert, just fending off Caddy. You're allowed to do that. That's not in the face. That's not too high. You're allowed to fend off a tackle. Shouldn't have been a free kick to Josh Caddy.
Cats by a point then. Boundary throw in. Stanley's in front. Lobey, who's been manful, knocks it down. Caddy couldn't control it. Wines stood his ground initially. Goes back towards Lobey. Now picking it up. Cahoon did very well. Kicks it up towards the wing. Wingard fucked away by Enright. Stewart moves the ball about 10 metres. Sliding in there. Lonigan couldn't control it. Brilliant pick up Enright. Wonderful tackle, Stewart. Charged the ball out. Hand pass comes from Boat to Wingard. And Wingard under enormous pressure. The Cats kept after him and forced the error. The ball skids out of bounds about 20 metres around from the behind post.
He's so good defensively though, Wingard. I mean, the pressure he put on Enright there. I mean, his efforts really caused the spill.
Almost the closest one I can think of to Cyril Rioli. Just makes things happen. The way his pressure and the way he buzzes around the contest.
Selwood trying to get clear. Stokes, Lang, back to Motlop. And Motlop descending. That's a good mark. Broadbent has started this match so well. So high-scoring opening term, much tougher in this quarter. Broadbent to set it up. Schulz normally a flyer. Lobey, Lonigan and Taylor built the ball out. Respective coaches both have got a great strike rate. I mean, Chris Scott's at about 73% after more than 100 games. It's big stuff. And Hinkley's batting at about 58, 59%. Great numbers.
Scott has won 5 out of 6 against Port Adelaide, including a final. Wines with the outside of the boot, slapped away defiantly by Thurlow, and it goes out of bounds. 38 plays 39. Haven't been too many lulls tonight. Brief one here. Geelong defending a dangerous situation. Lobey and Stanley. Lobey doing it on his own. Slaps it back towards the boundary. Enright comes to it. Cahoon was waiting for him. The little fella drags him down. Well done. And the umpire blows it up. Cahoon hasn't played since the semi-final against Geelong in 2013. That was the 10th game in a row for him, but then a knee injury last season slowed him down. Good to see him back. Lobey locks up with Stanley, bounces to Lang. Hurried kick. Only as far as Gray. Now, he's been very handy, Sam Gray. I don't think he's got a role in the team. He just goes around and fills in. All the junk jobs come to him. Well, he's good with junk. Let's see what he can do. Talented football family. Sam Gray trying to bring it back right to left. It holds its line and goes through for a minor score.
So put at the front. The Cahoon dinner. Just 11 games, 4 of them against the Cats now. You mentioned that one in the semi-final. So he's seen plenty of Geelong in his short career, as it's turned out, just by coincidence. Thurlow to himself. He is a beautiful kick, isn't it? He sweetly times that almost up to centre wing. Blitzarves was hanging on, but no free kick against him. And then Lonergan runs it over. So it's a stalemate. It's a really enjoyable stalemate, by the way. It's not like it's boring or anything, but it's hard to get a goal.
Really different setup by Port Adelaide. Momfrey's Wingard, they're the deepest forwards.
And Shaw's, we've talked about, Duck, the fact that he's been up the ground a lot, hasn't he? Selwood. So where are Taylor and Lonergan then? If the short guys are forward, I guess, the two pillars. There's the kick to almost a half forward. Getting out the back, Stokes. Quickly off a foot. Now who's going to get there first? Kirsten's already kicked a goal. He's going to kick a second. He does. And Geelong are back in front. He's had a good night. I mean, he's the sub. Doesn't think he's going to get a run probably until halfway through the third quarter. Kicks a couple. I mean, he's always on the edge. He's never sure on a Thursday night if he's going to... I guess they know on a Tuesday these days, but whenever you know, he's never sure, is he?
He's probably one who wouldn't know right up to the Thursday night, as you said.
Anyway, he's had a good return. We wondered what would happen with Kelly off.
He was in doubt during the week, Shane Kirsten, with a bit of a hammy injury from last week's game. But coming on as the sub, he's had a real impact. 2 goals. That's Matty White coming from the ground. That's not a good sign for Port Adelaide. One of the important players, one of the ball carriers and running machines of this Port lineup.
Stanley at the second attempt. Hartlett, brilliant pickup. Homch forced to kick with the right foot. As a result, not all that good. It wanders down towards half court. Boat gets it though. He was across the boundary. And we'll get a throw in. So Shane Kirsten, what a bonus that is. His career high is 3 goals. That came on debut against Gold Coast. He's got 2 already. They've lost a man, but his introduction into the game hasn't harmed them. It was White being treated. Boundary throw in right on the 50. Lobe fisted back towards the boundary. Robbie Gray, Cahoon. Did that come off Thurlow? It did, but too high.
Kick for the fast 5 goals, the Cats. That's from late in the opening term. Selwood trying another clearance. Stanley's been excellent. Blitzarves. What a pair they could be, these two. Selwood, well done under pressure. A terrific tackle. That came from Jonas, and Jonas and Selwood are having a real crack at one another. Broadbent laces it out to Westhoff, and it's on here. So 50 metres, I think. Port Adelaide are going to get a goal out of this.
Gee. I was watching that. I thought Steve Johnson was hardly done by. There were 3 power guys standing over his captain, and he came in, and well, they paid a price, a big price.
So Westhoff, who's hardly touched it, he's had a couple of opportunities in the match to take a mark early. It's just his second kick. And scores a level, but there's a lot of fire here right now. So here's where it all happened. Great tackle.
Yeah, fantastic tackle by Jonas. Turned the ball over. That's what led to the goal to Westhoff. We look what happens after this. We'll see why the 50-metre penalty was given away. Jonas and Selwood having a bit of a wrestle. Nothing too much in that.
No.
Stevie J comes in. Bit of push and shove. Not a lot happening.
3-on-1. Oh, might have been against the captain.
Skipper.
It's actually against the captain, just a little clip behind the ear.
Well, silly play from Joel Selwood, gave away the 50.
Lobe had to wait, knocks it down. Canny sharks it there towards half forward. Live ball bounces inside the forward 50. Hawkins comes up, lays it off to Lang. Wanted too much time. There is no time in this game. Robbie Gray took him down with a wonderful tackle. We'll have a ball up. And Lang is hurt.
He got twisted in the tackle too. He limps off.
And Matty White's done for the night too. Right hamstring.
Caddy finds a way out, then in trouble. Johnson backhands it through the pack. Lobe over it, lost it. Cahoon, gang tackle, ball up. Or is it going to be a free kick? It's going to be a free kick.
So there's the sub, by the way, Young on.
So that was against Young, who was trying to charge through there. And Stanley has this ball directly in front. He's kicked one.
He's had a big night. He's had 5 clearances. He's never done that before. That's a career high. So really playing well.
Geelong have been terrific. Stanley's kick through the night sky is good. They regain the lead.
Should tell you one thing. They would have taken 4 goals between Stanley and Kirsten, I reckon.
No doubt.
Stanley's been outstanding. He's been a bit of blitzarves about him, hasn't there?
Well, they're a great combination now, aren't they? It's only an early combination, but
they're sort of changing the feeling about what you can do with a ruck combination, aren't they?
flexibility, that athleticism.
Well, here's the free kick. Young ducked down, just held on to it. I reckon he's a bit stiff there. He was over winning the footy, and they've said that he ducked into that, therefore that's prior opportunity. I think you've still got to be down over the footy to win it. So therefore your head is going to be down. It's different to the one where you lower your head.
Gee, Reece Stanley, take a bow. It's his come out night, isn't it? Kicks the full forward. Caddy trying to break it, slaps it out. Kirsten held on to. No free kick. Football so hot, Pittard. Gray quickly got it away, got a push. Cahoon and Mackie might have been off Mackie, boundary throw in.
Well, it's a test for the umpires too. We haven't seen too many games at this tempo.
Well, I did hear someone say the other day Angus Monfries is one of the best sledges in the game. Well, between him and Andrew Mackie, I think you've got 1 and 2 in the AFL there. A little bit of fun between those two.
Stanley having a terrific night, wins it down, wide of the pack. Murdoch gets boot to ball inside the forward 50. That runs out of bounds. So White is off and Young, the sub, is on. And you heard Tim say White won't be back.
See that? It's like where he did the hamstring, just trying to tackle there, overstretched.
Cats by 6 points. Lobe and Stanley. Robbie Gray
15, play on.
spills out towards the boundary. Selwood charges in and carries it out.
This is just right up his alley, Selwood. He loves these sorts of matches. But he's got some mates. I mean,
Hold the meter.
Boak and Wines and Gray and the other jumper. What a contest we've seen. It's been
Play on.
thrilling stuff. Brutal at times. Young again now. Does he go there? He was unlucky before.
I think Ollie Wines is just getting a little bit confused at the moment with stoppages. He's on blitzarves. He's trying to stop blitzarves going third man up and having that impact. But then he's not sure what to do, whether to go with him like he does on that occasion or whether to stay down and be dangerous on the deck. I think he needs a bit of an instruction. Just don't worry about blitzarves or block him at all costs.
Cahoon neatly on. Lonergan had to search. Wingard released it. Buse, Schulz bounced in and out on a boundary throw in.
Well, when he goes that third man up, Lingy, he can almost put it where he wants it. He can get it to space. He can get out of that congestion and hit it to his team's advantage, which is a huge advantage. So you probably do have to block him. You can't allow him to put it to space.
Cats by 6 points. Boundary throw in. Just outside the attacking 50 for Port. Stanley and Lobe, both of them good. Lobe wins this. West off, clever. Cahoon smothered. Out of bounds.
But Duck, if he's your best clearance man, could somebody else do the blocking or not?
Well, it's a team effort. I mean, you've all got to be involved. You've got to be getting across. I mean, let's be honest. You got one 6'8" and the other one a 6-footer. I mean, there's a massive difference there.
Lobby takes a break. Westhoff opposed to Stanley. Poke almost through. Impey tackled. Ebert. Hartlett gets away from Selwood. No mean feet. Poke jams it on the boot. It floats down towards half forward. Young eyes only for the football. Well done. 55 metres out. Sends it long down towards full forward. Well done, Mackey. Both men very, very conscious of giving away a free kick. Enright gets the crumb. Comes to Buse. Bearing down Wingard. Strong tackle. Out of bounds goes the footy. And the umpire says, throw it in.
Great stuff.
Oh, this game is hot. Both teams' pressure, first class. Both teams' skills under pressure has been very good. Entertaining game of footy.
That ball was so hard for Enright to pick up, and he did, and
how clean is
he was magnificent. And then Wingard's pressure again. Great stuff. Ebert getting through traffic, belting forward.
Well, you said before the game that Corey Enright's body is as good as it's been for a while. He looks to me tonight, he's as clean a player out there.
I think he's almost been surprised how good he feels, and that's why he's perhaps even contemplating going on again next year.
Yep. Because
we're now 10 or 11 rounds into the season, and he's feeling great, and he's moving like it.
Having a great night. Blitzarth, Selwood, Broadbent, did well. Pittard, a lot of cats around the ball. Lang, Gregson, lively early. Caddy, that strong body, barges through. Motlop protected the footy well. Good at the back, Jonas. Pittard, held up. Gee, Pittard, he's one of those players. We've talked a lot about him. He just takes so many chances. Ken Hinkley's talked about the fact that he'll wear the mistake with him every now and then because he normally breaks a line.
I wonder if it's because Pittard reminds Kenny of himself playing that role across half-back, the running role. Just give him a little bit more leeway.
Cats by 6 points. Walker down the throat of Boat, going nowhere. Ball up right half forward for the Cats. Walker and Westhoff. Blitzarth was up as well. Westhoff, though, crumbed it. He kicks a high ball that floats. Knocked down by Lonergan. Thurlow used it brilliantly. Feeds it forward. Guthrie. Boak bearing down. That was enough. The inferred pressure. Now Boak is slung by Guthrie. There's a whistle and a free kick for Geelong and Guthrie. Incorrect disposal. Again, the hot football through the corridor. And a mistake either way. There's the kick from Guthrie. Long down towards full forward. Westhoff got a first on it. Hartlett comes back. Carlisle had more time than he knew. But he kicks it close to the boundary line. Johnson kept it in. Flicked back by Enright. Johnson under the loose ball. Brilliant stuff, as was this smother. Charging in Cahoon. Upended was Young. Ball ricochets across towards Enright. Off the ground by Buse. Back towards the 50. This is relentless football. Gregson to Johnson. Johnson's kick. A miscue. And Broadbent comes up and juggles the mark.
Gregson did something very, very good there. That was so difficult to do, to get it to Johnson as he did.
This is fun to watch. Both teams have been sensational approaching half-time. Great game of footy.
If you had a final written over the top of this game, you'd believe it, wouldn't you? This is so intense. Geelong by a goal. Port have thrown everything at them. Westhoff belts it out. Is it a mark?
Might have been a little bit lucky.
So Walker, Westhoff, Blitzarth stays down. Ebert doing some good work. Hasn't missed a game since he came to the Power, Ebert.
Talked about whether this is a final or not. I mean, so much on the line for both clubs. If Port want to make the top 4, Geelong want to make the finals. I mean, it's huge.
Yep. It's moving day, isn't it? Yep. It's like a third day of a major today.
Boundary throw and other side.
For all the Cat supporters out there now thinking, well, why can't Geelong make the top 4? They're 5-5 as well. But I guess we think that Port can, and maybe Geelong just in the 8.
Lobby in front. Canny comes storming in. Guthrie taken down. Selwood in trouble. Ball jarred loose, ricochets back to Weebert, lowers the eyes and sends it down towards half forward. Oh, Lonigan, he's been good tonight. Gets the free kick, not the mark.
Here. Front on contact. You get
Little
footy.
the worse for wear. Lonigan just jabs it along the boundary
50
line.
metres. Just for Pittard. High. Yeah.
So, 50 metres against Port. Lonigan will find himself on the wing now. 2:40 remaining to half-time. Tom Lonigan.
I got it. Yeah. Hang on.
So Johnson
Time.
gets it down the ground. A bit hard to follow that as he sends it inside the forward 50. Selwood launched himself. Coming through Westhoff. Still Westhoff needs to be careful. Carlisle took a risk. Got it back to Weebert.
Cahoon, Thurlow. Thurlow paid.
That has sent the Port Adelaide crowd into a frenzy. They thought it was man in front, but it's a Geelong ball now.
Well, he launched himself, Thurlow, didn't he? And now in Caddy's hands. He's been a goal kicker of late, Caddy. He's had a real good run.
Hold that line.
There's a bit going on. Stevie J dumped behind play as well.
You saw him flying out, Duck.
Yep.
So this is big. Just to give the Cats a couple of goals lead just on half-time. Not going to come back floating. In fact, has it made the distance? It's a behind. There we go. Well, for a bloke, I heard you say last week that he doesn't know how to fight. He gets plenty of practice, doesn't he?
Geelong's biggest lead of the night as Stanley takes the mark. Port's biggest lead, 13 points.
I don't think he was happy I said that, Bruce.
Who would be?
Stanley drives it long down towards full forward. Big pack, Ebert, Motlop. Just knocked it away from his body. Broadbent. Charging in there as Motlop gets the loose ball. Getting back is Homsch to his own advantage. And with time goes around the outer side. Wingard drifting outside the defensive 50. Is that 50? Apparently not. Wingard shaking ahead. The players have been quick to get on with it tonight. Wingard, clock inside the last minute of the first half. A high ball. Taylor goes up, pumps it towards the boundary, and across it goes.
So at half-time is going to be when the siren blows. If the ball's in dispute, you feel like something's going to happen here, don't you, between these two teams?
Travis Boak hit the deck before. Stevie J hit the deck before. There's a bit going on off the ball.
Players are flying out left, right, and centre, aren't they? Off the ball. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens. Blitzarves, Johnson, brilliantly done. Sets up Caddy. Caddy off a step. Not a good kick. To the advantage of Carlisle. Waited for the bounce. Had some protection. Back to Westhoff. Westhoff high. Geelong have got some good numbers here. Taylor takes a strong mark. They've got time, Geelong, if it's clean from here. In front anyway, one way or the other. Taylor just to set it up. Can Hawkins take a late mark? Build it away. Johnson and a boundary throw incoming. So Geelong needs something really clean and something very clever here. Stanley's been outstanding. And half-time. What a half. Perfectly poised, really, isn't it? The underdog, slight underdog just in front. The hometown team with a bit to do, but capable. So half-time on what's turning out to be a big Friday night at the Adelaide Oval. It's Geelong by 7 points over the Power. Port Adelaide 7-3, Geelong Cats 8-4.
And see where he gets his treatment throughout the rest of the game. But Shane Kirsten's come on, had an impact, kicked the 2 goals. This is all set up for a massive second half. I can't wait for this one.
Margin 7 points then. Cats on top. They trail by a point at quarter time. Second half, Friday night football. Good bounce too. Stanley has been terrific. Taps it down. Guthrie threw it, said the umpire.
Port Adelaide propel.
It's So it's coming back to Wines.
Thank you. Nah, it's a propel, mate, so it's a throw.
Umpire had a good view of it. Hines, or rather Wines, wants to go and goes down towards half forward. The mark is taken by Stewart. So Stewart, about 75 metres out from goal, just sets it towards the pocket. Carried under the ball, Schulz, fisted away by Mackey. Robbie Gray in mid-air, grabbed in that pack by Buse. Close to the boundary line, it stays in. Broadbent, 16th possession, along the line, over the top. Taylor pumps it away. Wines a bit of a fumble. Did well though, kept his head. Pittard kicks inside the forward 50. Monfries, big leap behind the pack is Gray, and Gray snaps a goal. His second. A point the difference. And that ball stayed in on the outer side. That was the luck that Port needed. And then Robbie Gray, he's up to 16 possessions as well, like Broadbent. He started brilliantly in the first term, reached double figures. 52 plays 51.
Duck, you always talk about the importance of the second effort. This was the way Robbie Gray got this goal. Just that repeat effort got the separation.
Yep. We'll talk about the comparisons with Gary Ablett Jr. when Gray started. I mean, that was the sort of stuff Ablett was doing as that small forward. He's a champion player, Gray. Kicked the opening goal of the match, got the opening goal now of the second half.
Straight back, boys.
That will be some matchup because Enright's been in sparkling form. Johnson off a step, so Geelong have been so good and so poor, but there's nothing between them. One single point, in fact. Free kick to Cahoon. It's been a long wait for him. Dennis mentioned the fact his last game at AFL level was the semi-final against Geelong in 2013. Had a knee injury in this AFL last year. Here's Impey. So Matt White has confirmed it's a hamstring. Remember that's how he finished his Richmond career, with a hamstring. Couldn't play in that final against Carlton. Big fly came from Blitzards. Wines, Stewart, Stanley. 15 disposals for him. Career highs 21, so he's having a real impact tonight. Johnson there with Wines.
6 clearances and 2 goals to go with that too for Reece Stanley.
It's like he's gone from a matinee performer tonight, the Saturday afternoon show, to the main fair, hasn't he?
Cahoon's been good too, talking about the youngster. 12 possessions so far, most of them hard won. Wines inside the forward 50. Great spoil from Lonigan over the top of Schulz. Slapped back towards the 50 by Westhoff. Held without it there was Gray. That was Sam Gray. Schulz did brilliantly. Cahoon again, quick hands. Jonas kicks inside the forward 50. May have been touched off the boot. Slapped away by Wingard. Opportunity running out of space by Thurlow. Sam Gray picked it up. And Lonigan has had a terrific night. The spoil and the smother all in the one episode.
Well, that's commitment right there, isn't it? Committed to the spoil. Beautiful without giving the free kick away.
And Dennis, you talked about Sam Gray and Cahoon. They've done lots, haven't they, though?
Yeah.
2 guys that are sort of on the fringe for the power. Ebert. High ball. Monfries and Mackey.
Geelong. Lock his arm down. That's it. That's the mark there.
They looked locked in combat, the two, didn't they? And Mackey gets a free kick.
Looked like they were both giving as good as they got. Could have called play on there.
Port had the numbers. Wingard. Westhoff. Wanted it back to Wingard, couldn't. Murdoch works his way pretty well. He's a left footer. He gets out of it, but puts Stevie J under great pressure. Sam Gray again. Taylor. Back to Wines. A bit too tall for Ebert. Boak. Still Boak. Good give. Wines running hard at centre wing.
5 possessions in the term for Wines as he bounces one out of bounds in front of Stewart. How's that for a start? Early moments of the term. Geelong control the football. Rivers. Well, in several minds, eventually just kicks up towards the wing blindly. Marked by Ebert. Hand sign there. Ebert sends it back towards the defensive 50 for the Cats. Wingard almost. and then inadvertently sockers it out of bounds. So a boundary throw in.
You saw Rivers' hesitation there. It was because Port Adelaide was just perfectly set up behind the ball, just stopping that Geelong attack, and that's why they've had the 6 inside 50s to 0 so far in this quarter. Defensively set up really well.
Kicked the only goal. Blitzards, Motlop. Westhoff got him. Kicked an early goal, Motlop, but he hasn't had much impact. Pittard off the step. Wingard's lurking here. Monfries. Quick kick away by Lonigan. Through Johnson. Cahoon. Ebert crashes in. Motlop crashes in. Stanley on the up. Mackie off the step. Tough stuff. One-on-ones all over the place. Hawkins so quiet. Kicked that goal in the opening turn. And a boundary throw in.
He's only had the 2 touches, Tom Hawkins. Good hard attack there by Ebert. Both players going for the ball. No issues with that at all. There is no easy footy out there.
Stanley in front. Roby reaches over the top. Blitzards cast in the role of a rover. Johnson met solidly by Jonas. Close to the boundary line. Caddy a fumble. And it goes out. Carlisle well suited to play on Hawkins. All about strength, that duel. And so far, Carlisle has been the man. Boundary throw in. Stanley, wonderful night so far. Needs to press on. Blitzards and Stanley. Double team Lobie. Blitzards, though, knocks it to no one. Certainly not a Geelong player. Winds again. He's winding up as the kick goes down towards half forward. Lonigan.
So having a big term winds, Lonigan been superb. Blitzards the target. Westhoff. It's a good matchup. Taylor. Boak and Selwood have been together for all this half. Selwood arches the back. Pittard nearly gets him down. Motlop bends his back and misses.
Motlop misses. I reckon this is a free kick here. I reckon Stanley's kept Lobie out of this contest. That's not third man up there. That's shepherding and allowing Blitzards an uncontested go at it. I think that should be a free kick against Geelong.
Well picked up, Cam. All towards the outer side on his knees. Caddy. Taylor. Stanley. So much of the football. Lonigan has had a terrific night. High one. Kirsten sets himself. Hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Lurking behind Boak. Stolen away by Motlop. Wonderful tackle by Jonas. Knocked out of there by Pittard. Held by one arm. Still managed to get the ball to Young. Young's kick, though, is coming back. Blitzards takes the mark. Kicks inside the forward 50. Committed there was Young, and he did enough. Boundary throw in.
But Geelong inside 50. They haven't been inside 50 much in this term. Boak and Selwood together. Fighting over the same ball. Selwood hooking and missing. They are similar, aren't they? I mean, same draft. They play a similar sort of game, don't they?
Yeah.
Just think Travis doesn't get cut up as much, does he?
Both quality young men too. Outstanding people.
Pittard short. Ebert cruising past Broadbent. Needs to accelerate. Gets away. Kick short of the wing. Lonigan out manoeuvred that time by Schulz, who immediately steps off the ground. Takes a breather. Stewart's on. This ruck stuff is really intriguing. Lobie and Stanley. Stanley very conscious of his opponent, then wins it down. Hartlett got boot to ball. Sends it about 15 metres. Stewart thumps it towards the boundary. Enright coolly kept it in. And this ball stays in again after the hand pass. But Selwood quite content to run it out. Blitzards takes a break. Johnson coming back into the action. It's like an ice hockey sideline at the moment. They're working double time.
It's a great description. It's just what it looked like. Lobie, Stanley over the back. Johnson, Guthrie with a long sleeve in the second half as he's wont. Lonigan racking them up, playing a great defensive game. Well done, Jonas, belting it away. Contested marks are just so hard to take tonight, aren't they?
They are right now. Both clubs have got that loose player behind the ball, so really hard to go down the line and win it.
So Hawkins, Duck, clearly the #1 contested marker coming into the comp tonight.
Yeah, he really struggled tonight, hasn't he? And there's been a little bit of third man up, but there's been a lot of 50-50 contests that it's been a battle of strength, and he hasn't won them.
Lang had it forever, didn't he?
There's another one.
And here he is. Every time we mention him, he does something.
Well, that was a clever kick to him there. Just let him onto the ball, able to hold his ground.
That's his first mark, Liggy.
Hold that. Thank you.
So let's see how he thinks his way through this.
He's going to go the left foot option here.
He does, and he's made a bit of a mess of it, but it might be in a good spot for Geelong. Stokes, no, Young runs it out.
Close to the boundary, out on the full. So Mackie gets it back for the Cats. And this ground's still at fever pitch. Harry Taylor, short, in right. The Cats, a defensive team, that's where the strength is, and they've been very good tonight. Lang could have almost been 50. Boak was off balance there, and I think he was very conscious of getting Lang on the ground. Lang squares it. Thurlow takes the mark. Plays on, just jabs it inside the forward 50. Jonas did well enough. Murdoch shrugs the tackle. The Rivers smothered off the boot. Wanders down towards full forward. They come from all points of the compass. In goes Young. Tackled by Caddy. Had it a long time. Caddy is playing, tackling and umpiring. What a trio. But he's got a free kick, 15 metres out. He was good at all three things there. Multitasking, deep in attack.
Caddies do that.
That's invariably get the blame too, but he gets the free kick.
I'm not sure he had a lot of prior opportunity, but in the end, probably didn't dispose of the ball correctly. So that's where the decision comes from.
Yeah. Either prior opportunity or a submission hold. Caddy kicks a goal. That was frenetic stuff.
Dennis, hard to get the ball out of your forward 50. I mean, Port had it jammed in for a while, and then Geelong got it there, and it's just so difficult to get it clear, isn't it?
Yep.
He's really hitting the scoreboard this year, Caddy.
He's an emerging player, isn't he?
Josh Caddy, very good tackle inside forward 50. But Aaron Young, a little bit stiff, may have got a fist to it, but was spun around. That's what the free kick was for. Probably held onto it a touch too long. Went back and slotted the goal, and just let the Port Adelaide crowd know that he was happy with that one.
So this is the biggest lead of the night for the Cats. 9 points. Mackie, Wingard, toe poking. Wines taken off it by Thurlow, and he didn't have the ball. Wines stiff, I think. Ball up. So Caddy 11 goals this season. That's what he kicked in his first 2 years at Geelong. So he's already up to 11. Adding an extra string to the bow. Gray. 42 goals Gray last year in that incredible year where he was the coach's choice as the player of the season. Westhoff, Hartlett, Westhoff, Ebert, straightens well Ebert. Kicks to the pocket, Shaw's lining. Oh, Wingard! He's done it! Oh! He was never in the frame. Kick two already. This is just where he likes him, I reckon.
15 seconds, hold your tongue.
He's a genius. He really is. He's got something special, that guy. The mark and the goal, when you put them together, it's the full book, isn't it?
If you're ever going to use that word, Bruce, special.
Well, I used to use it. I introduced it because of the bloke sitting alongside you, to be honest.
I mean, just to have the courage to go back and take that in the first place, in the one hand, and then the composure, check side or banana, depending where you're from. Have a look at this. One hand. Oh, that's just so clever.
Here we go.
And then the check side, and that did not look like missing.
He is a star.
Stanley up high, has knocked it down. Hartlett, though, off the ground, improvising down towards half forward. Clever by Young. Getting across is Mackey. And this ball runs out of bounds. So Chad Wingard, 20 goals for the season now. 13 possessions tonight. Career high is 5 goals. Possession-wise, his best effort against the Cats, 26, round 9 of 2013. Boundary throw-in on the outer side. Stanley and Lobey, as they've done most of the night. One down by Lobey. Motlop, high one, floats it towards the wing. Homsch, a test of strength there. Walker's got him. Clever play by Homsch. Slung, and he'll get a free kick.
Back here. Go through. Got the handball. Dumped.
He's a solid citizen, isn't he, Homsch? He's a really solid citizen back there.
Reads the play well. Wins those one-on-one contests. Held his ground really well there. An important part of that Port defence.
Now the big switch to Ebert here. He wants to get it across.
Mate.
He's made it. And Ebert onto Monfries.
Here now.
So they've switched it from one side to the other. They actually haven't gained a lot of meterage. They've changed the angles. So Monfries goes down the line. He wants Westhoff. He won't get him. He did do a good job, though. He came in late for the spoil.
Well done, Westhoff. That's what you have to do. You're outnumbered 2-1. Just bring the ball to the ground. Get to start again. Just so important, those little fists, those little spoils when you're outnumbered. I just wonder what Stevie J's thinking right now. He's been the magician for so long for Geelong, and Wingard now on the other side, the up-and-coming freakish player for Port.
Blixarves came unchecked at that boundary throw-in, but did nothing with it.
Wingard's thrown down a pretty good gauntlet to him, hasn't he? Try and beat that.
Margin 3 points. Cats on top still. Third man up, Caddy, sort of. Cruising past the pack, really. And this one's gone out on the full at the second attempt. Caddy moving the ball, but boundary throw-in is in his mind, but it's going to be a free kick to Young.
So he's the sub. He came on for White in the second term. Kirsten came on for Kelly in the opener. So sets it up Young. Shaw's a big fly. Lonigan took that fly away. Mackey wants the line. I think he might be pinged here. So Monfries to bang it in. Port pressing hard. 1-on-1. Now 2-on-1. Well done, Rivers. Enright held Wingard up.
Yeah. Sorry.
He's had a big year, Rivers. Just so good at that. They've got so many of those players. We know Harry Taylor's very good at that, but Rivers always courageous above his head.
He's really marking the ball well.
Yeah,
not just the spoils, not just those strong one-on-ones where you've got to bring it to ground. He's coming off, taking those marks, allowing the Cats to counter-attack off the back of him.
Lonigan shy of the wing, off hands. Taylor. Stokes trying to soccer it forward. Broadbent. Sam Gray inside the 50, and this one bounces out of bounds. This defence is under pressure now for the Cats, but they've been good all night. Got to say, I'm a firm believer. Defence travels. And the early Eagles probably testimony to that.
Stevie J, just like a couple more goals there. I think Duck just evened the scorecard up a little bit.
Both number 20. I wonder whether he had Stevie in mind when he...
And both Ken Hinkley favourites too.
Yes.
Up in front, Broadbent is going to get a free kick and or mark.
Had a very good night, Broadbent.
Hold it. Play on. Play on.
Just sets it up. They're wanting a high mark. Geelong have got all the numbers. Missed by Murdoch. Enright belted it away. Hurried it away. Sam Gray. We've talked about his industrious match, but he just had a little bit more time, and he's blown that shot.
Just have to think their way through this better, Port Adelaide. I saw them against West Coast. They had so much ball inside their forward 50 in the latter stages of that game, and they wasted it. A little bit similar to this last 5 minutes. You just got to think their way through it and use the footy better.
So Lonigan to Murdoch. He was pinned down Murdoch, and that's a dangerous kick. Blitzar's well done, takes the mark, and then takes off.
Lovely work. Mackey on the other side, some time, shocking kick though, off the outside of the boot. Well, maybe, just maybe he intended that. It bounced to Walker. Stokes once all day. Run down from behind. Gregson a half chance. Now Rivers had spent it before it arrived. In right off balance. Gregson runs on. Kicks inside the forward 50. Drifting back is Hawkins. In from the side, slapped away by Impey. Did Hawkins have the football? Well, it's out of bounds now. And the boundary throw in.
Henry Mackey tried a bit of a barrel there on the wing. Wasn't his finest kick. Great desperate defence by Port Adelaide. Two just really desperate, relentless efforts to stop that Geelong goal. Great play.
It was Impey and Carlisle. Jonas. Gray. Only as far as Rivers. So Geelong, you feel now, starting to get some ascendancy after Port had it early. Geelong, then back to Port, and now back to the Cats. Such a high-scoring opening term, and so difficult to score since then. Enright having this big night, popping it up. Stanley nearly had a real crack, didn't he? He's so confident tonight. Sam Gray, that looked deliberate. It's a good call.
You know when they're going to call it deliberate because the umpire is at top speed when he runs towards that boundary.
There's Enright. In front, Ebert, uncontested. What a game it's been. Cats by 3 points. Ebert takes off. Changes his mind. Stewart in 2 minds. Back to Ebert. Still time. Ebert tackled as he kicks. The Cats with the numbers here. Enright been terrific to Mackey. The old firm, but the kick isn't good. Stewart getting across, and his desire is to get the ball across the boundary, and may have, well, cramped up perhaps. He's concerned about that left hamstring. We've got a boundary throw in.
Hasn't played a lot of senior football over the last 2 or 3 years, Paul Stewart. He's a fine player, a role player, and he is looking the worse for wear there. Walker laid it down to Blitzarves. This big ruck rover. Hawkins, well done. Holmes, well done. Carlisle, Johnson, and Impey in a boundary throw-in. So Geelong have got themselves into a good position here with a stoppage inside the forward 50.
Thanks, Josh, hold that leader. Here, look at the front, mate.
Westhoff, Walker, Blitzarves the third man. Motlop trying to rove it. Did he throw it out?
Play on. Throw it in. Go through, mate.
That third man up is all a bit easy as far as the Cats are concerned.
They've got to be really strong here, Port, now, because you're right, it looks far too easy now. It's got to be team defence. They've got to make sure that can't allow this third man up.
Walker in front, knocks it down. Ebert. Gregson waiting. Clever by Sam Gray to his brother. Kick goes wildly off the side of the boot and out of bounds. So Rivers will go back and fox it.
Over the line, Jared.
Unrelenting football.
That summed it up perfectly there. That tackle from Gregson. That's the way both teams have tackled all night. They have stuck their tackles. Their pressure's been first class. That's why it's been so hard to score, but the skills have still been good.
Taylor got it from Taylor. It's interesting in that last boundary throw-in. Ebert very preoccupied with the third man up. Getting the ball was almost an afterthought. Broadbent did brilliantly.
He did, but so did Blitzarves as well. And then Boak, and Blitzarves rips it off Boak. Not easy to do. Ball almost out. Heroic stuff left, right and centre.
Well, Monfries was on. If that ball gets over Blitzarves, then he's running inside 50 with a little bit of space.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There's not much you can't do, is there?
Such a big man, the way he just ripped the ball.
So Lang coming through, kicking to 50, Broadbent, unlucky there, Impey, Kirsten, Cleary brings him down, Honch, well done Guthrie, cut him off, still Guthrie! Great stuff, couldn't quite finish it.
A little fend-off reminded me of the old 29 at Geelong there, but couldn't quite finish it.
Yeah.
I think Lang came through the interchange gates, didn't he, at the time of the boundary throw in? Should it be 4 on Australia? Ball comes outside the 50. Missed there by Blixarves. Wine's been terrific in this term. Nobody near Rivers. Stokes across the ground as they build here. Enright, normally so reliable, goes short. Thurlow. Now we've said tonight he's running at a very high percentage with his kicks. This will be difficult because it's a packed forward line. Kicks down towards the pocket. Carlisle step for step with Hawkins, and we've got a boundary throw in.
Carlisle's been good tonight on Tommy Hawkins. He's only had the 3 possessions. He's kicked the 1 goal, but all of those one-on-one contests, Carlisle has been there step for step, matched him completely.
And Hawkins has had a couple of big days against Port in the past. So good match-up tonight for sure. Ball not quite out. Selwood searching. Blitzer so good in those areas. And then Wingard poking it forward. Shawls runs the gauntlet, holds it up, kicks to space. Big ball this one. Monfries launched early. Thurlow was superb. Lang on the up. Gregson good with ball in hand. Guthrie can finish this one. He does. Geelong are doing well, and so's that man in the 29.
Gee, it was the bounce of the footy back near the centre circles. On one occasion, the footy married for the Cats.
Gee, both teams did so much to like, but Geelong's resolve tonight. I mean, they have had everything thrown at them, haven't they?
Yep. They've been sensational. Long way to go, though.
Straight back. Time you're late, guys.
Not sure what that one is, Doug. Nice goal. Not sure about the celebration.
They've traded goals for the last 9 in this game. As if on cue, Robbie Gray hand passes inside the forward 50. Lonergan has read everything so beautifully down there. Cut it off. Well, Wingard picked the pocket. Goes in short. Westhoff up. Had it knocked away. Robbing the pack is Enright. Coolly drives to the outer side. And now it's a race. Cahoon gets back. Wonderful courage from Walker. Taken in a tackle, Jonas. Cahoon quickly got back into the action. Oh, terrific defence by Taylor. It bounced obligingly for Monfries. Dangerous situation through the legs of Stewart. Wingard swooping again. It's like tackling smoke. He gets it across towards Westhoff, and he kicks a goal.
Great call, Dan. Oh,
remarkable stuff. And now the margin is less than a goal. It's the sort of game you don't want to win, provided they can guarantee the spectacle until about 2 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And have a look at that steal. That's making something out of nothing. Lower away, and then just the cleanness here. Good players don't fumble. He doesn't fumble.
it's the sort of stuff Rioli might do at his absolute best at pickup, isn't it? So Port Adelaide again close. We haven't had consecutive goals since the Cats got them just before quarter time. And half-time, Guthrie's been outstanding in this term. Murdoch to build it forward again. Can Hawkins take a contested mark? Nearly. Motlop's dangerous here. Can he? Got his second. What a game. Well, to Hawkins' credit, he didn't take the mark, but he held his ground there, didn't he? He created some chaos. Guthrie up and about, isn't he?
Last two goals have been speed of ball movement inside 50, so they've had a little bit of space to run into.
Do you think Guthrie cost himself Brownlow votes by changing his jumper at half-time? They don't know it's him.
It was an arm wrestle this third quarter. It's just broken open in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Both these coaches, they'd be wondering what's going to happen next. Who's going to be the player who's going to rip this game apart, because both teams are playing great footy.
Levy has to wait. Blixarves read it brilliantly. Driving ball inside the forward 50. Hawkins. Oh, wonderful courage, Pittard. Pittard to his feet and plays on immediately. Comes out wide. Stewart clashes in mid-air there with Blicavs. Driven forward around that other side or a near side and comes to Enright from Wingard. Kick goes back inside the forward 50. But the mark is taken by Homsch. Josh Caddy heading possessions. 5 tackles, 2 goals. Hard work, the essence of the contract for players on both sides. Pittard, who's been heroic at times tonight. Left half back. Not a good kick though, and Selwood just knocks it out of bounds. We'll have a throw-in.
Have a look at this for courage. Pittard in front of big Tom Hawkins, and Carlisle doing a good job just keeping Tom Hawkins out of the last 2 contests.
Lobe, blitz up, both miss. Belted forward by Esgray. Stewart ran into Ebert. Caddy, terrific. Murdoch, you heard the call. Stokes off a step. Kirsten tries to turn his man. Pittard again. This is where he could create some chaos and havoc. Kicks the ball out wide. Not a great result. Enright, what a game he's playing. Murdoch, what's he up to, Dennis Enright?
Also, I'm looking.
23 disposals. He's having a terrific night. 24 disposals. He's averaged 21 this season. Season high of 29.
Make it 25 now.
There he is again. Drives it down towards half forward. Lobe got a fist on it. Hawkins trying to improvise. Comes to Motlop. Spins out of trouble. He's been watching Wingard. Johnson creates his own space hurriedly down towards full forward. Brilliant gather by Hawkins. To no one in particular, or was it? Did he spot Motlop? Motlop spots the goals, and through it goes. His second. Well, let's give Big Tom the benefit of the doubt there. He just hand passed the green grass, and Motlop with the acceleration to arrive first. And he kicked a wonderful goal. So, how about this margin now? 79 plays 63. It's happened quickly. Approaching 3/4 time. It's the Cats by 16.
Well, it hasn't been Tom Hawkins' best night, but clean there. Handball into the corridor, into the path of Stevie Motlop. Geelong, they just look dangerous when they go forward now. Those players are swarming all over the loose footies inside forward 50.
And Lingy, first time consecutive goal since either stage of quarter time. So it's been a long time. It's been goal for much of the match. Not now, and they've pinched a 16-point break. Homsch releases Robbie Gray. Port are going to need that big last quarter. There's some interesting last quarter facts about Geelong away from Victoria this year, which we'll show you when we come back. It's out in the forward. Geelong have one last roll here. This could be absolutely telling. Can Enright make it pay? Guthrie, his run and carry in this quarter has been decisive. That clock ticks away. Guthrie goes on the left. Can they take a mark, the Cats? Robbie Gray gets back. Westhoff bangs it away. Lonigan's going to take it. He does. But the siren's going to sound. Well, we said at halftime it was perfectly set up. It probably still is, to be honest. Port have had big last turns in the last couple of weeks. That was their trademark last year. But Geelong have got a good lead. It's 3/4 time on a Friday night at the Adelaide Oval. And it's the Cats by 16 points over the Power.
It's a big blow, huge blow for the Cats there. Stanley's been terrific. 2 goals, 17 possessions, 6 clearances. Josh Walker is going to have to play in the ruck, you'd think, this entire quarter.
Friday night football, final term. Cats lead it by 16. Against all the odds. Lobby goes up, wins it down. Wines, touched off the boot. Westhoff. Murdoch, superior speed, knocks it across the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in. Murdoch, big night tonight. His run so important. Now, Ebert cast in the role of taking care of the third ruckman up. Hasn't always worked. You can see him to the side. Very conscious of Blicavs, but virtually takes him out of the game. Having said that, he'll get this. You watch. Wingard kicks it down towards half forward. Held without the football boat, surely. Ebert sockers it forward, but it's coming back to his captain.
He's not sucking a whistle.
It's interesting, they lined up Port with Boak forward, Gray forward, a very short forward line. Boak now to the pocket, and that's a poor result. Rivers just cuts across. His intercepting marking all year has been impressive. We've talked about the fact that he's having a stellar season in his third year at Geelong. First goal, you think Port have just about got to get it, I reckon. Caddy, Tim was so right, Caddy, Murdoch and Guthrie, their third quarters were fantastic.
Well, we talk about whether they can make the top four or not, the Cats. It's those players right there. They start to play consistent footy for the Cats. Well, they'll be saying, why not?
Lang hurriedly down towards half forward. Motlop. Still Motlop after an assist there from Hawkins, but the ball goes out of bounds, so play stops. Boundary throw in. It's a fair way back. It's been a low-scoring affair after quarter time. Can Port do it? Roby and Walker. Watch for Blixar. Steps in front. Selwood. Caddy kicks inside the forward 50. Broadbent should have marked it. Jonas under pressure. Hartlett. Sweeping hand pass. Carlisle provides the run. He's tackled as the ball arrived. Brilliant stuff by Impey. Run down. Did get boot to ball. Scuffs it forward. Enright once more. Immovable. He sends it down towards half forward. Pitches in no man's land. Kirsten tackled by Homsch. Off the ground by Walker. And Pittard goes wide, but too long. Enright though spilt the mark. Here's a chance for Ebert.
On the up to Wines. Cramped up a bit with the kick. And Lonergan just picks it off. So both Rivers and Lonergan been able to pick it off. Those forward entries. Rivers, so the Cats lost Kelly in the first quarter. They've lost Stanley in the third, so they're playing a man short. Stanley's such an impact player tonight as well. Thurlow hugs the line. Good mark, Blitzarves. He's just jaw-dropping good, isn't he, at the moment? Can do just about everything on a footy field. Hartlett off a step. To centre wing. Impey flew. Thurlow runs it out. And a boundary throw in. Geelong away from Victoria this year only twice. So they go to Sydney in the last quarter. This is what happens. They get 7 goals to 1 against them. They go to Perth. It's 7 goals to 1 against them. This is their third trip outside Victoria tonight.
Port are going to need 7 goals won, I think, to actually get up and win it.
Guthrie burns away, kicks inside the forward 50. Hawkins led Carlisle under the footy. It runs on. Broadbent arrives quickly. Well, hot was Hartlett. He was pushed in the back though, surely. No free kick. They wrestle and will have a ball up.
Look for the Port Adelaide skipper, Travis Boak, in this last quarter. Been reasonably well held tonight. Had the 14 possessions. He'll be the one that Kenny Hinkley would have had a quiet word to. Tell him to lift his team to get over the line here.
Blixar smashes it forward. Caddy had it momentarily. Carlisle grabbed by Hawkins and wrestled down.
Right.
He's on the bench at the moment, recharging the batteries, Travis Boak, so he won't have an impact at this contest, but the rest of the quarter.
Don't worry.
Don't they let you down?
Lobe, Carlisle, Wines. Walker did well, spread the contest. Caddy with a couple of goals in the third. To the top of the square. Kirsten made a contest. Cahoon belting it away. Enright held on to, no free kick. Westhoff released it quickly. Monfries was very good, got down low. Gray, Cahoon, Ebert. Port with their first real chance, I reckon, in this quarter. Schulz cut off brilliantly by Rivers. It'll be a ball up.
No opportunity, ball's pinned. He's trying. Thank you.
And of course, Port Adelaide in the last 2 weeks, to go with that Geelong stat, have kicked 6 goals to 1 against their opposition. So they've got that last quarter mojo going in the last fortnight that they had as part of their trademark efforts last year.
Blixarves brilliantly done. Hand pass came across to Guthrie from Stokes. Inside the forward 50 and sliding in Johnson. Takes the mark about 40 metres out. Plays on now, nonchalantly, comes around and centres the ball. Dangerous spot. Homschwed up. It's 2 against 1 standing. Kirsten, he's kicked a couple. Tries to go back to support. Nothing on though. Lobe taken down. Ball spills across to Lang. And Lang snaps over the left shoulder and puts it through for a goal. Body blow. Wonderful pressure again from the Cats.
This is hard on Lobe, I know, but he was just the wrong guy in the wrong spot in a way. I mean, it's hard for the ruckman to release the ball, and they swept on that, didn't they?
It's been the tale of the night from both teams. The pressure has just been fanatical. Tom Hawkins the tackle, the spillage to Darcy Lang. Such a big goal. Bruce mentioned the stat before about Geelong's last quarters. That's got to give them some confidence.
Well, they've got their one already, Limmy. Selwood. So, by far and away, the big margin of the night here. And Port looking down the barrel. Murdoch. Stokes. Ducked his head. Got away. Selwood running hard. Delivering brilliantly to Johnson. The mind's ticking. What do I do, Stevie J says. That's what I'll do. Kick it to Mackie. Well done, Wines. Boat belts it away. It was hurried, though. It was rushed. He probably had a little bit more time. Rivers mopping up. Kicks to Hawkins. Can't get a crack at it. Pittard again. Bravely comes across. And Bobby and Tommy have a crack at one another.
Pittard deep in his own defensive area. 22 points the margin. Port buckling at the knees at the moment. They need to find something. High ball to the wing. Lonigan has been a master. Didn't take the mark that time. Guthrie fends off Borders, holding the footy. It'll be a free kick to Port. Schultz to take it. A long way from home. He's at right half back.
Well, unfortunately for Port, they can't afford to just go down the line like this. They have to move it. They have to get some run going. And plays right into the Cats' hands.
Matthew Broadbent has been very good, particularly early. So many heroes for both teams. That's a good kick too. To space. Ebert comes up, takes the mark, plays on to Young. Young sends it down towards the attacking 50. Wingard, up he goes, couldn't take it, might get it. Monfree's getting a hand in there. Enright the magnificent. His anticipation of opponents, both foot and hand, is quite remarkable. Almost unique in the modern game.
Arguably the greatest halfback, certainly of his generation, isn't he?
Hold the meter, Josh!
So Port have got to find 4 goals, at least. Caddy. And Dennis mentioned an emerging player. He's arriving, isn't he, Caddy? Pittard getting back. And the boundary throw in. This is the exciting thing about Geelong. It's not the old firm. I'm there. Enright, certainly tonight. Johnson's been good. Selwood's been good. But it's those around them. It's the 21, 22, 23-year-olds.
Caddy and Guthrie in particular.
Blitzarves.
Murdoch.
It's exciting. Walker. Robbie Gray.
Throw, Geelong. Advantage.
So the advantage to the Cats. And Motlop's a good guy to have the ball in hand, you would think. Twisting and turning, thinking about it. Lovely kick to Stokes, who's got the distance. This is about his range. And he's a pretty accurate kick.
It's clever from Motlop. Just had to hang on to it and allow Stokes to run into a little bit more space.
Hold that line, mate. Max in. Just back in.
So he gives to Motlop, so he didn't feel he had it. Is it going to come back? Not quite. It's a behind. So how far can Matty Stokes kick the ball in? He was 35 metres out.
Yeah, I think he would have kicked that. I was a little bit surprised by that one. Just go back and have the set shot. Take the responsibility yourself. Motlop's a beautiful kick of the footy, but Matty Stokes would make the distance from there.
Pittard. Everything needs to go right now as far as Port are concerned. Lead came from Blick's arms. Gray got the ball out of the pack, charging through those views onto that loose ball, kicks it back inside the forward 50, and Pittard again.
Pittard's been good a couple of times now, cut across, helped out Carlisle, stop Hawkins.
Played his heart out, hasn't he? It goes across the ground. Like so many, you've got to say, Westhoff outnumbered, did well. Held up Geelong, Carlisle. Cahoon liked his game. After a long absence, he sends it towards the wing, and Hartlett. Under 13 minutes remaining. Port and Hartlett have the football on left centre wing.
Kicked 5 goals in the first 25 minutes of the match, Port. Kicked 5 since. They probably need 5 from here to win. Mathematically, it's pretty tough. Hits ours. He might be in trouble. No, it's a ball. A couple of big men to take him down in the end. He is a colossus, isn't he? His development has probably been one of the most surprising things in AFL football in the last 2 years.
He's listed as 198 centimetres, 97 kilos. That is a big unit in the midfield.
Murdoch, Hartlett, just couldn't quite, then knocked Shaw's over. Shaw's releases. Caddy, Geelong, hold it up with Sherwood, and a ball out.
Well, I wrote a little article about him only a few weeks ago and sort of said a similar development to Jim Steins. He's probably different around the stoppage. He's much better around a stoppage. Jim was obviously a great athlete and got around the ground and got a lot of the ball, but he's just so good.
Enright kicked it towards the outer side. Quick hands. And now Pittard runs the boundary. Kicks inside the forward 50. Camped in front, Mackey. Off hands, Guthrie. So far, the Cats meeting every challenge. Back to Rivers. Rivers in the back pocket, measures the kick. And comes to Taylor. Taylor at left half-back. Gregson will wait. In from the side, Stokes. Not a lot of height there. Impey did okay. Knocked it away. In trouble is Lang. Needs some help. Held to him. And the umpire will throw it up.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. Impey did a good job there. He was disorientated almost. Lobe. Gray. Releases, winds, missed the target. Walker over the top. Stokes, Caddy running hard, tucked the ball under the arm, caresses it. And Hawkins has had such a quiet night. It's been a cameo from Hawkins tonight. He can ice the cake.
It has. Brilliant by Matty Stokes here. Control there to get the ball into Caddy as he was falling to the ground. Clever kick by Josh Caddy out in front of Hawkins. That's one of the few times that we've seen separation between Carlisle and Hawkins. That's a great handball.
So just his third kick for the night, Hawkins. And the first time he's had a set shot at goal. Well, he had the pocket, didn't he, at the other end. But the first time he's been front on with a chance to give Geelong, you think, the win, and he's done it. It's a long way to go, but they're a long way in front. Well, in the end, Hawkins has half done his job, hasn't he? Little bits and pieces. That was big. A handball that came off in the end. It's been something at least, hasn't it? I mean, Carlisle feel like he's done him in, but... Well, it's an exclusive club league. In fact, it's been since the early 1980s that anyone's played 300. About 1982, Nankervis. Sam was in 1980. He's about to join a revered group, isn't he?
Yeah, next Sunday against Melbourne, assuming he doesn't get hurt from now. 300 club. Been a special player for a long time at the Cats.
Well, safe to say he's not limping to 300. He's been outstanding tonight. Bloke at the base of that pack, and we'll get a ball up. So last roll of the dice time now for Port. And to be fair, the dice are missing some of the spots.
Look for Robbie Gray to get on the move here. Chad Wingard really proactive. They've got to roll the dice now.
Wingard didn't have it. We'll get a free kick. Selwood wholeheartedly in on him. Now Hartlett in space. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Committed to the football. Rivers thumps it towards the boundary. Cahoon keeping it in. Stewart feeds it back to Weber. 51 metres out. Sends it towards the kick-off line. And in from the side. Murdoch growing in stature. It was 3 against 1. The one was Monfries. Murdoch took the mark.
A lot of ex-Glenelg players out there tonight. Not a good kick. Gave Port a chance. Wingard swoops on it. Could he kick a 4th goal? It's close. He's got it. There's still a chance. He's kicked 4. 1 in every quarter. Great call a minute ago, Lingy. You said that it'll be Gray and Wingard on the move. It's a long way back from here, but that just gives them some hope. Next centre clearance. Cheese value for money, isn't he? Doesn't need 25. He needs about 18 or 20. And something big happens.
He's an excitement machine, Chad Wingard, goal number 4. But, Duck, you've got to love this team play on the goal line, making sure that one got through. Yeah. Just Angus
held him off long enough without giving away the free kick, which is obviously very important.
Margin 23 points then. Port can still win this. Walker takes a swing at it. Wingard foxes his own footy. There are the two that Lingy was talking about. Wingard gave it to Gray, who fell over. Impey in the grasp. Got it away. Broadbent inside the centre circles. Short one to Westhoff. Westhoff drives it to space. Wide of the centre square, or rather the goal square. Tackle on Westhoff down there, or rather, who is that? Schulz? Yep. Not sure. We'll have a ball up. Westhoff kicked it. Schulz was the man who was tackled.
If you're Geelong, you'd be sitting on Gray or Wingard here, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Blood rule again for the Cats. The skipper, he's had a problem with this all night. The nose, blood flowing again. Bit of time now for Geelong to organise this defensive 50 stoppage, but also a bit of time for Port Adelaide to go and have a chat, organise a block to make sure they get one of their dangerous players free.
Tim, do you think the Power are any chance from here?
No, I don't, Bruce. I think that Geelong have had the answers all up. The only way that they can is to keep some pace in this game. I just don't know how much they've got left in their legs, Power.
Let's see what happens from this stoppage. The Cats do well. Johnson, brilliant handball. Taylor, Honch, strong mark. About to build it back.
So Port trying to make their move. Sends it down to its full forward. Schulz up very high. Crumbed by Stokes, finds a way through, well done. Hooks it across the body, just outside the 50. Awkward bounce. Impey leads back in the race. Johnson bearing down. Impey out of options, barely. Hand passes along the line. Wingard can't keep it in. And the clock is down to 8.5 minutes.
Plenty of time for Port, especially with the home crowd behind them. If they can sneak another goal, this game is well and truly alive. Geelong defending well at the moment, but a lot of this last 5 minutes or so has just been played in Port Adelaide's half. Those exciting, quick players, Tim mentioned the leak speed, they need to be the ones from the stoppage just to break it open. Geelong will be happy to bottle it up.
So Walker, Westhoff, Blitzarves again. Here's Hartlett to Westhoff, spreads it to Ebert. He's within range, looks up, spreads it very wide. Gray, off a step, handball. Wingard, handball. Broadbent, out on the full. Is it in the back?
On the full. Really good pressure again from the Cats. Talked about pressure from both sides, although technically we see those played every week, so umpire missed that one, but
since the Hawkins goal, that's been 5 inside 50s to Port to 0. They have got the momentum.
Murdoch. Westhoff gets a fist on it. Out of bounds. Clock stops. 7:49 remaining. 23 points the margin. Eminently doable, but can they do it? Westhoff and Walker. You can see to the left Blitzarves, kept out of it by Hartlett. Walker wins it though. Wingard into Blitzarves. And ricochets out of bounds. The umpire, that's the boundary umpire, will do it again.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Point blank range.
Cam Guthrie, the man with the job to curtail Chad Wingard in this late part of the game. They know he's the match winner.
Walker. Clever by Wingard. And as far as Rivers, he's been very handy tonight. Rivers a high ball to the wing. At the top, Jonas got a fist on it. Gathered by Blitzarves. Followed up his earlier good work and kicks it down towards half forward.
Carlisle off the mark quickly to Pittard. Sweeps a dangerous handball to Cahoon. Back to Pittard. Got to go wide, and he does. So Geelong not unhappy with that. Now Ebert's got an option in the middle. He goes to Broadbent. You feel like Porter got to play a lot of corridor footy here. Wide, winds. He's got overlap as if he takes the mark. He does enough. Impey onto Wingard. He's a left footer, but he goes on the right, goes to the pocket. Gray at the back, worked his man cleverly. Oh, good stuff there by Buse with Stewart. And a boundary throw, and I reckon Gray was lapping that up then, wasn't he?
Any deflection back, and he's got a goal. That was great defence by Murdoch. Able to knock it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Danger not passed, though, as far as the Cats are concerned right here. Lobie and Walker. Lobie the stronger man. Sam Gray had it smothered off the boot. In goes Stewart. Immediately tackled. Ball slow to release, and the umpire will do the business again.
Thanks, Jared.
6.5 minutes now.
Out, boys.
Time the enemy of Port Adelaide. Walker, who's been lion-hearted, tapped that one down. Buse is tackled. On top of him is Young, and a ball up.
Geelong wouldn't mind this, just chewing up a little bit of time. Repeat stoppages, bottling it up. The pressure is building. And as you said, Dennis, time is against Port at the moment.
Lobie won it. Lang read it. Gets it outside 50. Honks bravely with Cleary, but they mess one another up. Hawkins, Motlop. Gregson, well done. Broke the tackle. Really well done. Was he tripped? Perhaps not. Impey. Wingard. He's kicked 4. Gives it a roost. Hooks it. It's not going to be a score. Is it a mark? It's in the back. Against Gray.
Well, they had the numbers, didn't they? So he knew that he had to try and get him under the ball at best body position.
Well, Stokes' dangerous kick. Westhoff cut it off, but couldn't quite keep it in.
Let's have a look at that free kick. Just a push there on Matty Stokes.
Matty Stokes. Rivers was coming back, wasn't he? He's been so good at that tonight, Rivers.
Not much in the push.
Of course he is.
Boundary throw in. 92 plays 69. Lobie hits it hard. Thumping it forward, Wingard back to Lobie. He's in trouble. Slung, hand passes. Oh, clever. The two veterans combine. Enright's kick, though, is smothered after Lonergan knocked it down to him. That's held against Enright. There must be a ball up. Andor out of bounds. Well, the umpire let them play, so it's a boundary throw in.
Don't just hover. All right? Don't just hover in that hole. Because they're on you about it, okay? So don't just hover.
So Lobie and Walker.
Play on.
Gets it out the back. Gray runs hard onto it. Back to Jonas. High ball. Going to be almost impossible to mark unless your name's Rivers.
Yeah, it's been a real highlight of Jared Rivers, not only tonight, but actually all year.
Sure. I think of Josh Gibson when I think of him. I mean, Gibson became a lot better player at Hawthorn, a better player than I think any of us thought he could possibly be. And Rivers is sort of making that improvement here at Geelong. Dangerous kick, but okay in the end. Lang. Thurlow's a beautiful kick normally.
And here's a bit of a mark almost all the time. Harry Taylor takes a timely mark. Clock continues to run. He hugs the boundary line. Hawkins in front. And the ball goes out of bounds, and that's a good result as far as the Cats are concerned. They can contest this clearance again. They all push up.
They've been happy with their clearances tonight. They'd certainly have to be. Average 33. They've been ranked 18th. They've had 53 tonight, so way above their average.
Lobie to the back of the pack. Clean ball. Hartlett looks inside the forward 50. Will sort off. It goes down towards the line and bounces out of bounds a metre outside the 50. So a wayward kick that took Westhoff a long way from goal.
And right on cue, Port sliced straight through a stoppage there. They'll be trying to do it again. Wines by himself at the stoppage at the moment.
Well, the clock, a huge danger. But Geelong have had all the answers. Clock or no clock. Wayne, if you provided us with a top 4, I'd be fascinated. Who have you gone for?
Yeah, look, I've gone with Enright.
Yeah, that's right.
Wingard. Carlisle's done a terrific job on Tom Hawkins, and I think Josh Caddy, he's kicked the 2 goals as well. But a lot of good players tonight. Been a great contest, so hard to split. Probably 8 players from either side, to be honest.
Do you wonder how many blokes in their 299th game have been best on the ground, eh? It's a great effort by him, isn't it? Kick to the pocket, views. Taylor just sits on the ball and a bit of ball up. So Port lost 3 games at home last year. They were 10-3 at home. If they lose tonight, it's their 4th defeat at Adelaide Oval this year.
Well, you can wipe the top 4 off now for Port, and all of a sudden it becomes a possibility for this cat side.
Boak spills to Gray. That's Robbie. Gives it back to Wimpy, and now Boak takes a snap at goal. It's wide of the mark. And guess who?
Back 3 metres.
Yeah, just a wonderful player. Talk about, you know, to win best and fairest when your side wins premierships and All-Australian selections. He's just been a 5 All-Australians, 2 best and fairest when they've won the 3 flags. He's won 2 best and fairest in that time. So
he's like a clairvoyant. He just gets on the end of the footy. He knows before anybody else where it's going, sometimes including the kicker and or the hand passer. It's been a remarkable night by him. Not that man, but he's been handy as well. Enright we're talking about. Blixarves and Lobie. And Lobie single-handedly, eventually, has found his match. The number of players that Geelong have thrown at him just overwhelmed him. And it started with Stanley, who's off the ground. Now Hawkins comes up and takes a tumbling mark.
He hasn't done that very often tonight, but he's kicked a couple.
This is going to be a huge win tonight for Geelong. This is the first one of the big scalps that they've been able to take this season. Beaten by Hawthorn, beaten by Sydney, Fremantle, North Melbourne. They needed to take a big scalp West Coast in Perth. To take Port Adelaide down at Adelaide Oval, that is a huge win for them. And they've done it with contributions from every player. James Kelly got injured early, but every other player who's been available and fit tonight has really played a role.
And where to from here for Port in a way at 5 and 6? I mean, Duck's talking about top 4. Really, to be honest, they may not be playing finals this year after. It's hard to come back from 5 and 6. Normally, maybe one team does it each year, but it's difficult.
Well, there's going to be a lot of question marks asked about this Port Adelaide side now.
11-3, 14 scoring shots to 22.
Yeah, it's a massive difference. Is this the sort of night that could change Enright's mind in terms of whether he plays on or not next year? Geelong go forward. Hawkins and Carlisle.
I can see you holding the jumper there, Tom. I can see you holding the jumper.
Good call by the umpire. Carlisle's been terrific. You put him in your best 4, Wayne, and that's fair enough too. Carlisle against Hawkins has just beaten him time and time again.
Yours.
Hawkins will have the last laugh with the win, but Carlisle can hold his head very high.
Wingard kicked it to the wing. Murdoch got the crumb after some courage from Blixarves, and we've got a ball up.
Thanks. Back it out.
What's up ahead?
Hold the meter. Hold the meter.
Well, you'd expect them to get over the Blues, but then a couple of tough ones. Sydney and Collingwood.
Caddy to half forward. Carlisle again does well against Hawkins. Brilliant gather by Impey. Wines has drifted out of the game. Started the 3rd term brilliantly. Wingard, 4 goals alongside his name. Kicks towards the wing. Murdoch's pace again in evidence. And the wily veteran Lonigan, short. Murdoch, high ball. Got it from Hughes, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Thanks, mate.
So for the Cats, well, they're going to start favourite against Melbourne. They come back here for Adelaide. That's huge. I think that's a Sunday afternoon game, and then North Melbourne, again, a tough game. There are so many 50-50 matches this year, aren't there?
All of those games winnable, though, for the Cats.
For sure, particularly after a night like tonight. They're becoming Friday night specialists in a way. We saw them against Collingwood. They were superb. They were really good, I think, against Carlton. And we see the live ladder now where they've taken the place of Port. It's the first time this year that their percentage has been over 100, Geelong, at the end of the night. They've always been under the 100. Remember, they were on the bottom of the table. In fact, in round 2, they were about as low as it can get. Hammered by Hawthorn, beaten at home by the Dockers. And when North Melbourne beat them that day, as they did in 2007, if you remember back, linking you back at Cardinia Park.
I remember that one well, Bruce. Absolutely.
This is huge for Chris Scott.
It is, and looking forward to hearing from both the coaches. Kenny will be pretty honest about where his team's at. He always is honest. And as Duck said, they've got a lot of questions to ask now about the way they're playing. and they need to start clogging up some wins. Chris Scott will be wrapped on short.
Bedard dances off half-back, still springing those legs. Impey goes after the football. Motlop got a hand in there. Wines. Bit tall for Ebert. He controlled it okay, though. Wingard lowers the eyes. Monfrey's the man in front, reaching over the top. Enright. Plenty of numbers for the Cats. Storming through his views. Loops a hand pass across to Gregson. Getting close to the final siren. This will be a famous victory as far as Geelong are concerned. Said to be getting too old. Maybe not in the finals race. Well, they've served notice tonight that they're young at heart. And the youngsters have really at times set the tempo. They've relished the challenge. Gregson goes back and finds Lonergan.
Hey, straight to share.
And appropriately, Lonergan with the ball late, because he too's been a great player tonight. Gregson, the youngest on the field, kicked the opening goal for the Cats. Down the line, Blitzarves. And it has been run against the odds. And what about Enright? Bloodied but not beaten, Selwood. Geelong take the points in a classic at the Adelaide Oval.